On today's show, we recap the happenings of GHO from this past weekend with appearances by Jesse Jackson and Hillary Clinton.
That's right, and also voting is around the corner, and we will see how our Aggies are preparing for the election.
Yeah. All that and more here on Aggie News and Views. Thank you so much for tuning in to Aggie News and Views. I'm Marilyn Parker.
And I'm Dominique Moody. We begin with the recap of what some say is the greatest homecoming on earth, also known as GHO. Thousands of alumni from all across the country traveled to Greensboro to see old friends, tailgate, and witness the Aggies take on the Florida A&M Rattlers.
Yes, indeed. And thousands of students were ready to celebrate for the entire week. The GHO Countdown returned. The comedy show gave a lot of people good laughs, and the pep rally did not disappoint with a special guest. What better way to kick off homecoming week than with that pep rally? Students and alumni packed inside Corbett Sports Center to cheer on the football team and get ready for a matchup against Florida A&M.
That's right, and there was a surprise in store for those that attended as Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton made her grand entrance. Clinton spoke about the importance of voting in North Carolina and received a helping hand from Congresswoman Alma Adams and Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Yeah. WNAA celebrated their 50th anniversary and hosted their annual Aggie Fan Fest. The annual event had musical guests, vendors, and food trucks for families. Aggie News and Views reporter Denver Lark went out to see how much fun the fans were having.
Aggie Fan Fest is the perfect place for not only Aggies to debut their variety of talents, but the entire Aggie family. With everything from singing to dancing, and even the first ever lip sync battle, you're destined to be entertained. Artists like Darius McCray, better known as Bars, has been performing for almost 5 years throughout the Virginia area, and himself, as many others, have begun to use North Carolina A&T Aggie support as exposure.
Having nice bonds and everything I wanted, it may come to me. And if I really want it, I think I can have it. I can grasp with these dreams. These streets, I'll make it nice.
My most favorite part was seeing the reactions for the crowd. I saw two people that I barely got to meet, but they were recording me already, so I could tell that they really grasped the performance, and that's basically it, the reaction.
And as far as the message, because all artists have some type of message they want to send to their listeners. What is yours?
Mine is basically optimism and vibes. From my songs, you should be able to either get optimism or get some type of vibe and vibrations through your.
We even caught our producer Marilyn Parker showing off her dance moves.
Where the Trojans, baby, we living in the moment. I've been in minutes for the longest, but I ain't finished.
The 2016 Aggie Fan Fest has come to a close with live performances, vendors, food, and even the first ever lip sync battle has taken place. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm Denver Lark here with Aggie News and Views.
The Aggie Fan Fest wrapped up Sunday afternoon, and from us here at Aggie News and Views, we want to wish WNAA a happy 50th anniversary, and we wish you another 50.
On Saturday morning, members of the A&T and Greensboro community lined up Lindsay Street to watch the homecoming parade. This annual tradition brings out thousands of alumni, students, and city residents to view GHO's version of a Macy's Day Parade. Let's take a moment and watch. brings out the fans? The food, and more specifically, the tailgating. Each year, alumni make their way back to A&T, bringing loads of anything that they can grill. From enjoying each other's company, playing games, coming to hear the band. Each year, alumni show up and show out with their Aggie pride.
A&T Aggie Pride Homecoming 2016.
That's right. There you go, brother. Good eating right here. Good eating.
We're saying go Aggies, we're partying, we're enjoying the fun.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride. Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride, baby.
It's a wrap.
You know, Dom, I have to say my favorite thing at these tailgates is the fried fish.
Yeah, the fried fish is really good, but I really like the desserts,
Yes,
the cupcakes,
yes.
the cakes. Like, that is what I actually look forward to.
Nice, nice.
And everyone was ready for the Aggies to take on the Rattlers this weekend, and the volleyball team also made a splash. Noah Daniels-Wilder is here to fill us in with our sports update.
256 yards and 3 touchdowns versus Hampton, 200 yards and a touchdown versus Norfolk State, 220 yards and 3 touchdowns versus Bethune-Cookman, 187 yards and 2 touchdowns versus Howard, and 210 yards and 3 touchdowns in his final GHO game over Florida A&M. Those have been senior running back Tariq Cohen's stats for the past 5 weeks. All Aggie wins over MEAC opponents. And for an unheard of 5th week in a row, Cohen has been named the MEAC Offensive Player of the Week. But as great as Cohen is, he is not a one-man show. As Stuart Scott shows us in this report from the Aggies' big homecoming win against Florida A&M.
With all the excitement of GHO surrounding the stadium, the #1 team in black college football was looking for their 6th homecoming victory in a row. Things got started the right way for the Aggie defense, as they came out hitting hard. How about this play that results in a short gain, but a lot of pain for the Rattlers? Very next play, Angelo Keys sacks the quarterback, and the Aggie offense will soon get rolling. Denzel Keys makes a nice catch for a short gain. Then Tariq Cohen will take a screen pass and give the Aggies a 1st and goal from the 7. On the next play, Cohen puts the first points of the day on the board as he scampers in from 7 yards out and a 7-0 Aggie lead.
And it's more of that Cohen magic.
However, in the second quarter, FAMU would take a 10-7 lead, but the Aggies would put together an 11-play, 77-yard drive, capped off by Cohen's second touchdown run. This one from 19 yards out as he reverses field and makes a diving leap into the end zone. The ball touches the pylon, and he and his teammates celebrate a 14-10 A&T lead. But the Aggies weren't done. With time dwindling down in the first half, Lamar Raynard would find Elijah Bell from 25 yards out for another touchdown. Cody Jones would add the extra point, and the blown goal would take a 21-10 halftime lead. The Aggies would come out in the second half and dominate. Marquell Cartwright scores from a yard out, but Cohen then has the play of the day and a homecoming memory to last a lifetime. With this run up the left side, then he cuts back across the green and won't stop until 83 yards later, and he's in the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game. Cohen got to rest and let some of the other running backs shine. Amos Williams with a nice run here.
Amos Williams on the carry.
And then the Aggies would score once more, this time from Demetrius Fairley, from 20 yards out as the Aggies scored 35 unanswered points, en route to a 42-17 homecoming victory that pleased Rob Broadway.
As I always say, great win. I'm proud of our players and the way they performed, and I'm proud of our coaches for preparing our guys to play. And
with today's win, the Aggies have won their last 12 games in the month of October and are undefeated in the MEAC. For Aggie News and Views, I'm Stuart Scott.
The Aggies improved to 7-1 on the season and a perfect 5-0 in the MEAC. Next up is Senior Day. the last home game of the season, this Saturday against South Carolina State in Aggie Stadium. The volleyball team keeps rolling along with 3 straight wins since our last show. The team is now 9-11 overall, but 6-1 in the MEAC. It looks like the Aggies are heading for a showdown this Sunday in Tallahassee with Florida A&M, with first place in the MEAC Southern Division on the line. November 11th is the team's final home match, a Friday night matchup against rival North Carolina Central. The MEAC tournament takes place the weekend after that at Maryland Eastern Shore. The men and women's cross-country season came to an end last weekend at the MEAC Championship in Delaware. The men's team came in 3rd overall, while the women's team finished 6th. Earning all MEAC honor for the 4th straight year was senior Darren White, who finished 5th overall in his final race in an Aggie uniform. Congratulations, Darren. Also earning all MEAC honors for A&T were Hakeem Mustafa on the men's side and Jasmine Butler on the women's side. It was a good finish to the fall season for the women's golf team as they finished 2nd out of 4 teams in the Savannah State Invitational earlier this week. Sophia Alvarez finished 7th overall, J.C. Harvison 9th, and Erica Jackson 11th. Over the 36-hole event. The team will pack up the clubs for the winter before their spring season begins in February. Jay Joyner will be heading into his first full season as A&T's men's basketball coach, hoping to improve on last season's 10-22 record. He will only have 1 returning starter from last year, but that one man is a first-team MEAC preseason selection in Sam Hunt. Hunt, only a junior, averaged 15.4 points per game last season for the Aggies and was 4th in the nation in free throw percentage at 90.4%. The MEAC coaches and sports information directors have picked A&T to be smack dab in the middle of the conference in 7th place of the 13-team league. Aggies opened their season on Friday, November 11th in the Corbett Sports Center against Greensboro College. Things are much rosier for the women's team, as for the 3rd year in a row, the Lady Aggies are predicted to win the conference title. The Aggies did just that last season, advancing to the NCAA tournament, where they played Notre Dame, the team that is ranked number 1 in the nation at the start of this season. With 8 new faces on the roster this season, Coach Terrell Robinson will be hard-pressed to match last season's 19-12 record, including 12-4 in the MEAC. But that job will be made somewhat easier with Dana Brown and Kayla Green returning from last year's starting lineup. The Lady Aggies opened their season on the road against Georgia Southern on November 11th and will play Tennessee Martin at the Corbett Center on Monday, November 14th. That's sports for Aggie News and Views. I'm Noah Danswilder. Back to you, Dominique.
Thanks, Noah. A student forum was held on November 20th in the ACB auditorium, and students were prepared to voice their concerns. Reporter Arlette Hawkins takes us through the student issues.
The Chancellor Student Forum was one to note as students expressed their concerns about changes around campus. The hot topic of the night, tuition and fees and bridging the gap between administration and students. Definite changes within campus include extended shuttle route hours, a choice in purchasing parking permits by semester, and an $84 required fee increase. Although the entire agenda could not be completed in the time frame, the turnout and participation made it an effective meeting.
I am pleased. This one I feel really hopeful and I feel a little bit more connected. I appreciate knowing who I need to call now.
I'm really concerned about the dialogue happening between the students and administration on tuition, what the money is going to, and how we can understand that.
For Aggie News and Views, I'm Arlette Hawkins.
The next forum will be about the students' tuition and fees and will be held on November 8th.
It's that time of year again. Registration has opened for students. Advisors have opened their doors to ensure that students are making the correct decisions in picking their classes. Early registration opened October 24th for student leaders and athletes, while regular registration begins on November 7th. A march to the polls was held in front of the Dudley Building. NAACP President Reverend Dr. William J. Barber, community leaders, and student activists were in attendance and marched from the Anti-4 statue all the way down to the Guilford County Courthouse to cast their ballots and make their voices heard. With Election Day just around the corner, several people have already voted or have in mind who they are voting for in this presidential race. The real question is, do our students know any other candidates than just Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump? Our A&B reporter Jasmine Johnson went out to question students and find out what they know.
The election is swiftly approaching, and while many people may know our major parties' candidates, knowledge on those running in North Carolina may be slim. I decided to investigate here on A&T's campus. Hi everyone, so I'm currently here with Caitlin, a junior majoring in secondary ed chemistry, Jamir, sophomore public relations student, freshman Evelyn, majoring in management information systems, Daquan, a junior psychology student, freshman Allison, currently majoring in international studies, to Narissa, a sophomore majoring in mass media. So Narissa, do you know who is running against Pat McCrory for North Carolina governor?
Actually, I do not know.
I don't.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yes, Roy Cooper.
Yes, Roy Cooper.
Okay, so you actually stay up with like your current events.
Yeah, I try to.
Let's see, do you know who the mayor of Greensboro is?
I'm actually not familiar with Mayor Greensboro.
I do not.
No, I do not.
Oh, no, I don't really know.
Her name is Nancy Vaughn, and she is a Democrat, and she is Greensboro's mayor. And do you happen to know the 4 bond initiatives here in Greensboro?
Nope, do not know. No clue. Do not know.
When I went to vote yesterday, it was transportation bond, recreation park. I can't think of it too much more.
Do you remember
Oh,
those?
yes, I do. It was something about housing, something about the housing market, and they were talking about something about money, and I don't know, it looked to me like North Carolina wanted more money for like buildings and infrastructure and things like that.
Right.
Am I right?
You're along those lines. Here on A&T's campus, I'm Jasmine Johnson with Aggie News and Views.
Thank you, Jasmine. It'll be interesting to see what happens on November 8th.
I agree. We have more coming up after A&B Entertainment with Mr. Jaquez Spivey.
Welcome to A&B Entertainment, where we cover some of the hottest events and topics in Greensboro and here on our very campus. Hello, I'm Jaquez Spivey, and thank you guys so much for joining me. It's Halloween season, and several students have prepared for a scare of a lifetime. Richard B. Harrison players attempted to turn the general classroom building into a haunted house. The players were also collecting items for the victims of Hurricane Matthew. However, University police shut the event down before it could even start. Reporter Arlette Hawkins has more on the story. Arlette?
It's an unauthorized event. There's no security or police staff assigned to this event, and there's no papers.
As you heard it from University Police, the haunted house hosted by the Richard B. Harrison players was considered an unauthorized event due to lack of security and paperwork. Students who had the line pouring out of the doors since 7:30 were turned away. But before the house foreclosed, A&B got a sneak peek of the spooky asylum.
Okay. What the hell?
Yeah, let's wait. The insane asylum was founded by
see that?
Zach Cromster in 1891. See, the purpose of this insane asylum was to get people who don't fit into society here. You could say that they made their homes here. Don't worry.
I gotta think it's fine.
Hey, do you want to see my room?
No.
You want to see my room?
You don't want to see it.
Oh, hey.
For Aggie News and Views, I'm Arlette Hawkins.
Arlette, I'm so glad to see that you made it out alive because it probably would not have went so well for me. That was such a creative way to help out Hurricane Matthew victims. It's just too bad that our students didn't get the chance to experience the event, maybe next Halloween time. Students here at A&T have sought out to spread the message of police brutality and resisting arrest through the talent of spoken word. A resisting arrest poetry slam took place this past Thursday in the General Classroom building. Jatana Patterson has more on the story.
Crimes. If a man is guilty for what goes on in his mind, give me the electric chair for all of my future crimes.
I'm here at the General Classroom building where a resisting arrest poetry reading is being held. Students are reciting poems on the topics ranging from resisting arrest to police brutality. With police brutality being such a major issue today, students are finding different ways to spread awareness.
Hold them in your visions. Count them among the lives that matter.
I was 15 when I was told all I had to do was make it to 25. So why would rates go up then? Made me wonder if blue whales and bald eagles knew how long they had to live to make it over the hump.
I found it tremendously moving and deeply impactful.
Made him swear an oath to be careful around white folks. She told him the truth of many Mississippi anecdotes.
I feel like everybody needs to see this, any kind of culture, race, any college, non-college, high schoolers. I think that everybody just needs to be on the same page. Everybody just needs to know that there are problems in this world and we need to at least talk about it.
Chokehold that makes his wheezing lungs stop wheezing forever. I am in the crowd, at the window, kneeling beside the body left on the asphalt for hours.
The disappointment, the fear were all expressed in all of the poetry that the students shared tonight. I thought it was a phenomenal opportunity, and I am so honored to have been able to participate in the project.
For Aggie News and Views, I'm Jatana Patterson.
Some days it may not feel like it, but summer is gone and fall is here with winter on the way. So this means it's time to bring out those jackets and layer it up. So today we decided to do something special for you guys and bring in a designer and stylist to make sure that you guys have the look for the fall season. So without further ado, I introduce to you my friend that I hope has also brought me some fall style for the fall season, Mr. Wes Rome with Ariane Victoria High Fashion Brand. Thank you so much for joining me. How's it going? How's it going?
All right, man. How you doing?
Thank you so much. So what do we have here today to show our people?
All right, first I'm going to bring out a blazer slash coat that I created
blazer
for the fall.
Okay.
All right. Just to give you guys a good rundown of the outfit, this is a shorts dress with a jacket over top just to give it a layer for the fall season, for fall one. Fall one is typically hotter than cold and normal, and on it has leather lapels. They're loose, so that you can flip it back in to also just have the leather, it will be away and the wool just being shown. And then also you have wool content for the base of the whole jacket. And pretty much this is a retro slash classic look for the 2017 fall season, which I'll be premiering fall of 17.
So basically the ladies can be stylish and be warm at the same time.
Exactly.
So what inspired this look?
What inspired this look is a designer who I look up to in Christian Dior. I go with more gala, award show type looks because that's the class I'm catering to in my fashion, since I'm a high fashion designer.
Okay. Let's get the next look, please.
Okay, the next look is something I created early on in my high fashion career.
This is for the guys.
Yeah, this is for the guys, man. It's going to be good for you guys to wear. Okay, so you have leather sleeves along with a linen type texture. And so, Future wears linen, but the point behind it is I felt I just wanted to mix fabrics along with my base, which is the gold inside. That's what I use as a foundation of my brand, along with the gold thread, because that's what my brand is founded upon. And just wanted to give it a real nice look for the males. This is more so ready to wear than gala appeal. So if you turn to the back, you'll also see leather back pockets that are with the leather, with the gold thread on it, and that's just also another foundation of my clothing brand.
Okay, so I have a quick question. You know, typically during the fall, we don't usually wear white. So what was the inspiration behind this one?
The inspiration behind this one was snow.
Okay.
Pretty much. I just wanted to give it a white look. So, you know, just to blend in with what the weather's going to be. I mean, it also can be worn with a black jacket or a blue one. So that typically is the trend for when it comes to leather and linens that are put together.
Okay, awesome. Let's get our last look.
All right, and the last look is from Desiree.
Hello, Miss Desiree.
This is definitely a high fashion blazer. Her blazer has leather sleeves along with a wool base. The wool base, you know, just to go with the double mint twin look, for the other one to go for the same. And then it has lapels that are also, you know, stuck to it. It's not loose, so it's more so of a jacket look than a blazer look like the other one is.
Okay.
And this is also, you know, inspiration by Christian Dior, who I definitely look up to.
Wow, so Christian Dior has to be the man because these styles are amazing.
Thanks.
So I thank you so much for that. We're going to get you over here. So let me just talk to you for a little bit. What inspired you to even become a designer?
Honestly, what inspired me to become a designer is the fact that I wanted to be a psychologist in the beginning. And, you know, I felt like psychology wasn't the point for me to where I could be a public figure and change the world. So I felt like, honestly, I could change the world through my clothing, because my clothing, to a certain degree, embodies who I am as a person.
Okay.
And that's how I foundationally set my brand.
Okay, awesome. Also, let's talk about a little bit of the road that you've taken to get this far, because so many people are looking up to you as well and saying, I want to do this, but they haven't been able to start yet. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so what inspired me in everything that I've done so far is just, you know, when I was in this program called Think House, I dealt with a circumstance where I didn't know how to sew, and I didn't really have nobody who was there to help me in sewing, back at this being only my second year being a designer. So it pushed me, because nobody would help me learn how to sew, to want to become a better designer than what you see as the average. And then on top of that, I'm a black male, so I felt like it was really prevalent if I went into high fashion, being that it's not many males or, you know, African-American males in high fashion. And so, you know, getting opportunities like the UNC TV feature along with Time Warner Cable and, you know, being in magazines, you know, the A&T magazines and stuff, it really helps drive what I want to do in fashion.
Okay, so can you tell me the difference between high fashion and just regular fashion? Like, what's the difference between that?
There's a word you call regular fashion, and that's called ready to wear.
Okay.
Or you can say street fashion. And when I'm doing high fashion in Paris, it's called haute couture. Haute couture simply means high sewing, and that just means you use different techniques along with the best of the best material, you know, meaning the leathers, the wools, you know, just different stuff like that. And that also enhances the look and quality of a garment being put together once you know how to construct it.
Awesome. So if you had one thing to say to the people out here who are watching that would love to be a designer or entrepreneur or anything like that, what could you say?
What I would tell them is being a designer is all of a sudden a trend nowadays, but if it's something you really love and it's something you really feel like you need to make a name of yourself of, then you'll do whatever it takes regardless to who is on your side or not to make it. And that goes for any major, but specifically in fashion, deeming that high fashion is something that's such a niche family when it comes to being a part of the world of high fashion.
Okay.
It's a select group who truly, you know, become the haute couture houses.
Okay, man. Well, I thank you so much for coming
No
here.
problem.
Those designs look amazing.
Appreciate it, man.
And thank you guys so much for watching today. Make sure you guys tune in or log into our social media to see these very designs on our social media pages today. Marilyn and Don, back to you guys at the Anchor Desk.
And thank you for joining us today, and be sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. I'm Marilyn Parker.
And I'm Dominique Moody. Have a great day.
Yeah, bro.